Have you ever thought about the steps you take every single day? I mean, what if every walk to the store, every jog in the park could actually be turned into real, digital value? Well, today, we're jumping straight into the WFit ecosystem to explain exactly how that's not just possible, but it's happening right now.
And this right here, this is the core idea, the whole philosophy behind the project. It's super powerful because it's so simple. The movement you're already doing has real, measurable worth. We're not just talking about health benefits anymore. We're talking about building actual value.
All right, so how does WFit actually pull this off? How do they turn that idea into a system that works? Well, it's a pretty cool blend of fitness tracking and, a gamified digital economy. Let's break down what it's like for a user.
Getting started is really straightforward. First, you download the app and get your own unique digital character. And yeah, that's an NFT, so you actually own it. After that, you just walk. Seriously, every step you take earns you experience, or XP, and points. The more you walk, the more your character levels up. And here's the magic moment. Once you hit level 5, you can actually swap those points you've been racking up for the ecosystem's crypto token, which is called WLK.
And this is where it gets really interesting. It's not just a numbers game of who walks the most. The whole system has these layers of strategy built in that make it feel way more like a game. A game where the choices you make have a direct impact on how much you can earn.
Right. So the cool thing here is that it's not a one-size-fits-all deal. The kind of in-app items you have, and especially the type of NFT character you're using, can completely change your results. It's a system that's really designed to reward different styles of play and different levels of commitment.
And this table just lays it all out perfectly. You can see that strategic layer in action. Depending on your NFT character, whether it's a standard one, a hybrid, or one of the rare supernatural types, your daily goals and your XP earnings are totally different. I mean, look at that supernatural character. Sure, the step goal is higher, but it earns almost 4 times the base XP of a standard one. It creates this really clear progression path for users who are super dedicated.
Okay, so to get going on this journey, there are 2 key items you need to know about. Over on the left, you've got the electricity generator. The easiest way to think about this is like it's your ticket into the game. It's a subscription tied to your wallet, and you absolutely need it to be eligible to earn tokens. Then, on the right, you have the Walk Pass NFT. Now, this is totally optional. Think of it like a power-up or a booster pack. It actually doubles your character's daily step goal, which, as we just saw, can seriously ramp up your earning potential.
All right, this brings us to the most important question, right? Where is all this value actually coming from? Because earning tokens for walking sounds amazing, but for it to last, there has to be a real, functioning economy behind it. So, let's pop the hood and look at the engine that powers this whole thing, the tokenomics.
And that's really the fundamental challenge for any of these X-to-earn projects. How do you create a system where the rewards you're handing out are actually backed by real utility and demand? WFit's answer to that is to build a really broad and interconnected economy. Now, before we get any deeper, let's just do a quick definition of tokenomics so we're all on the same page. It's basically just the economics of a crypto token. It's the rulebook that says how many tokens will ever exist, how they get into the world, and most importantly, what you can actually do with them that gives them value.
So the entire WFit economy is built on this number, 55 billion WLK tokens. That's it. That's the maximum number that will ever be created, which establishes a really solid fixed foundation for the whole ecosystem.
So where do all those tokens go? Well, this chart breaks it all down. And look at that biggest slice of the pie. Nearly half goes directly to user rewards. That sends a pretty strong message, right? The focus is on incentivizing the community, the people who are out there actually doing the walking. The rest is for things like liquidity, funding future growth, and other needs to keep the ecosystem healthy.
Okay, so besides earning them, why would you want to hold on to these tokens? This is where that utility comes in, and it's so important. You can stake them, which is kind of like putting them in a savings account to earn passive income. You can use them in the marketplace for items, use them for new NFT launches, enter raffles. You can even vote on the future of the project. And this is really the secret sauce, This is what tries to solve the problem a lot of early play-to-earn games had. By giving the token a bunch of different jobs, you create real demand from inside the system, which helps stop that crazy inflation that happens when the only reason people own a token is to sell it.
So let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture. Because the walk-to-earn model is really just the beginning. The team is building a much larger ecosystem where walking is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle.
And this is where that long-term vision really starts to click. WFit is branching out into AI fitness coaching, a geolocation map called WHub, where you can stake real-world places, more advanced staking platforms, even an original comic series. The key is that every single one of these new branches is designed to use the WLK token.
This creates more and more reasons for people to get it and use it, which makes that whole walk economy even stronger.
So, what's the big takeaway here? We've basically walked through a model that manages to gamify getting active by hooking it up to a digital economy that has real tangible value. It's a pretty ambitious experiment in what motivates us.
And that really leads us to a fascinating final question. As all this tech keeps evolving, are those lines between our physical health and our digital finances just going to keep getting blurrier? Could a model like this actually be the future of how we motivate ourselves to get up and move? It's definitely something to think about on your next walk.